Okay, so as you can see, the bottom kind of fell out and it started raining heavier. I thought it was just going to be a little bit of a mist and we were going to be able to keep working on the 289 over there. But I've got a better plan. Since it's raining and I've got a couple hours before work, and I don't want it to go to waste, we're going to put some parts on the 390. Now this is the 390 that's going in the Galaxie. So this came out of a 66 Galaxie that I had. I'm not sure I ever filmed it and put it on the channel. But it was a running, driving engine. It was, it ran good. I have footage that actually I can probably insert right now. And you can kind of see how well it ran. Got a 5-blade fan on it. It was a power steering car, so I got the power steering pump on here, but the 66 outside, we're gonna opt to do manual steering rather than trying to replace the gearbox and everything. I think I'd just as soon have manual steering. I don't think it's going to be too hard to steer. It's got 215 tire width tires on it, and I'm used to driving my pickup truck, which has, you know, big truck tires, and it has manual steering. So I feel like this car is going to be significantly easier to drive than my truck, even without power steering. So, and I have a Holly up here. I don't know if I'm going to use it for this application, but I got this at a good price. It needs rebuilding, but it's a 600 CFM, I believe. The guy said it was dumping fuel. I just set it up here to kind of keep stuff from trying to get in the motor. Now this, you know, I painted up this engine. I replaced the intake on it to accommodate a 4-barrel, but other than that, I mean, this engine hasn't been completely overhauled since it was already a good runner and didn't smoke. I did replace the timing chain in it. I did replace the oil pump drive shaft. Exhaust manifolds. One of them was warped. I replaced. The other one I just cleaned up, sandblasted, and painted those with high temp coating. Replaced all my hardware for the exhaust manifolds. New spark plugs. So the parts that I have to go on this thing, I have a set of chrome valve covers and a chrome oil pan in the shed out back that I want to put on this thing. There's the only thing wrong with these valve covers. Is at the time when I was putting this motor together, it was only valve covers I had. But as you can see, there was some rust. When I sandblasted them, they kind of had some thin spots that could be an issue in the future. Normally I would have just left it though until I had an issue and then replaced them. But I found a good deal on some used, well actually new old stock chrome ones. And then the reason I'm replacing the oil pan is because a year ago, when I put this motor together, I had the wrong thread oil pan bolt. What do you call that? The you know what I'm talking about, that bolt down there. I had the wrong one. I'd grabbed the wrong one out of a pile, and I used the impact, and it boogered up all those threads on there. And I don't want that to ever be an issue where I'm doing oil changes on this thing and the threads give out on me because they're so boogered up. I cross-threaded it real bad. And a new chrome oil pan was like $50 or $60 with shipping, I think. So the only thing I'm concerned about is so these engines are notorious for, you know, the manifolds warping and exhaust leaks and things like that. There was a little bit of some, I guess the metal had gotten worn out from, I don't know, it was pitted, rusted, whatever happened here. So it wasn't sealing good enough, so I double gasketed it. I'm curious to see if that's going to work. The other side was fine. I think this side, the driver's side, is a new one, I think. New manifold. But, yeah. So I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. The one thing I wish I did do was paint the water pump. I just left it bare metal and it's already started to rust a little bit. But I'm gonna go out in the rain, go get those parts, and then come back in here, I reckon. So here are the parts we got here. I hope these are the correct thing and I didn't get duped. I did buy this from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. So this would be driver's side probably. Nope, it would be passenger. So I guess it moves the oil fill to the left side. And then, so it would be opposite way it is now. Well, I don't see a problem with that. I think these will look sweet on there. Yeah. So we have new gaskets to go along with that, and here is the oil drain plug. That's the name of that thing. And it looks like this one came with its own drain plug. That's really nice. Made in Taiwan. I'm impressed. So let's start with the easy part. Let's get the let's do the valve covers. Is that PCV gonna come out of there? There we go. Where's the battery? Some of y'all commented on how messy my toolbox is, and can't really defend myself. It is pretty messy, but usually I can find what I need. Now, I'm not going to throw away these valve covers. I'm just going to put them in the shed. Since they're already nice and clean and painted, we'll just keep them around just in case we need them for something else in the future. Same thing with the oil pan. I remember now that I didn't really spend a lot of time cleaning bolts and nuts and stuff. There we go. Yeah, and probably went overboard with the intake sealant, didn't I? Well, whatever. We found somewhere to put these. Alright, so it would be this one, right? Just make sure it fits. Oh yeah. That's gonna look good. Do I have any silicone? Yeah, I've got this red stuff. So we're just going to put a little bit on here, just enough to hold the, this is probably more than just a little bit, but just enough to keep the gasket in place for when we remove our valve covers in the future, so the gasket will stick to the cover. Looks like somebody's showing up. Let me go see who's up front. It was my dad. Alright, so where did I put the gaskets? Here it is. opted for these rubber gaskets. I don't know if I have a good reason, but they seemed a little bit nicer. Careful. Looks like these tabs are too big. These are gonna fit, right? They have these cutouts in them. Okay, cool. Crap, I'm getting silicone on the chrome. Gotta break the little tabs loose so they'll straddle that piece of metal. Okay, that looks like that'll work. Are these bolts not long enough? Is that the issue? Yeah, these bolts ain't long enough to get through the thicker metal. So does that mean we gotta go to Lowe's and find some longer studs or longer valve cover bolts? Alrighty guys, I just got back from Lowe's and we got some new hardware, so hopefully this stuff will work. I got lock washers and bolts. The bolts, yeah, as you can see, they're just a little bit longer. I didn't need them to be crazy longer. I believe this was a 3/4 inch thread and this is a 1 inch thread. So we're gonna put on this valve cover, hopefully. Yeah, it's not grabbing yet. Alright, it grabbed that time. So we got the right size bolts now. I'm gonna go ahead and zip on this side. Oh yeah, I'm real happy with the way that looks. Yep. These are solid valve covers too. Definitely an upgrade. So I guess this needs to go over here on this side. Yep. And this side looks pretty much equally as dirty. But it's an old motor. So we got the gasket on there and we set the valve cover up there. I just got to get my hardware in it. And I reckon I ought to show you guys what I bought as far as like dimensions in case you're doing the same thing yourself. These are the lock washers. Okay, so the left one is the screws. They're 5/16 by 18 thread. And then the lock washers were just 5/16. So hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. Okay, so next we're going to work on replacing the oil pan. So this should be pretty easy. This is going to be a lot easier than doing it when it's in the car. Gotta get all the bolts. I believe so. Oh, I think it's the silicone that's holding it on right now. If I remember right, I siliconed it pretty good. There we go. Looks like we tore the gasket. It's probably inevitable. Alrighty. So as you can see, we got the block up under here, the crank. There's that new oil pump I put in. I think I reused the screen. The screen doesn't look terrible. I cleaned it up before I put it back in there. So yeah, we're gonna need to do a little bit of... Seemed like I saw a piece of gasket. Oh yeah, we got some gasket up there I gotta scrape off. Yep. Ain't nothing to do but to do it. Got some crust in my eye. I think we're pretty decent on our gasket surface. So yeah, I think I'm ready to go ahead and put a gasket on there, or put an oil pan on there. Looks like it came with some oil pump gaskets there. But we're not gonna mess with those since it's already got new gaskets on there. Alrighty. Something I wanted to know is this drain plug magnetic? Nope. So I wonder if I can swap drain plugs, because I had bought a drain plug. Oh yeah, look at how shiny that is. Alrighty, so I had to eat me some lunch. So let me figure out what I was doing. I think I was messing with some drain plugs. This is the magnetic one, and this is the one I want to see if they're threading to here. Not really liking that, is it? It almost looks like the boogered up threads damaged the threads on my new plug. That's a bummer. Wait, is this a removable magnet? Maybe, maybe not. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't think this is meant to come off. Alrighty, we're not going to use that drain plug then. Whoops. Dang it. We're just going to stick this back into this oil pan. And then we're going to use the new plug on the new pan. I'm trying to remove some of this excess. Alrighty, I think I'm ready to set the gasket on there. Alrighty then, let's get this thing up in there. Try to finger start a couple of these. Alrighty, so this is how she turned out. I'm happy with it. It's a shame this thing's gotten so dusty. I'm gonna put a piece of tape over this until I get something to put there. I'm happy with that. Alrighty guys, appreciate you watching. Have a good day.